Welcome back to another episode of Man Bites Film. My name is Lewis.
I'm William.
And welcome to 2018 and our new year of starting the show with a co-host this time.
Right? We're going to start it off right. First year with the co-host.
Yeah. So also this year is going to bring us as well. We're going to be doing a what do you call it? iTunes show.
Yes.
Podcast.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing a full podcast with William and other guests as well that are nationwide. It gives us a little bit more variety, and also it gives us a lot more time to talk about movies like we want to. So instead of having these 20-30 minute episodes, we'll be able to condense it down and
more debates. Debates.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to happen. So this week I want to review August Rush. This is a 2007 film. It stars Freddie Highmore, kid from Bates Motel, good doctor, phenomenal character actor. He's really good. I think that when I saw Bates Motel, I was really impressed with his character and acting skills, period. And then when I saw Good Doctor, this guy's phenomenal. Alright, and then the mom in this film is actually Felicity, if you ever saw that show in the 90s and grew up in it.
When we're so old that Felicity plays the role of a mother.
No, right?
Oh, no.
God, right? And Terrence Howard from Iron Man. If you don't know, the black dude from Iron Man. That's how I call him.
The first Iron Man.
Yes.
Because then he got replaced.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Just
that's
Iron Man
right.
1.
Yeah. So basically this revolves around an orphaned kid that is left in this group home, and he has this odd gift of music. He hears music in life. He hears music throughout the streets. He hears it anytime there's a wind gust, anytime there's a wind chime, anytime people are moving, the honk of the cars, all that stuff is music to him. And he absorbs this, and he takes it as a sign from the heavens that he needs to go find his family. So that's what this film revolves around. It's August Rush is the name of the character that he gets picked up by an amazing character that's giving him the inspiration to go further into his music, which is played by the late, great Robin Williams.
Yes.
And I didn't know that Robin Williams was in this movie until about halfway through. I watched this movie just out of sheer coincidence because I heard a lot about it, and I was like, oh, I never gave this a chance. Let me watch it. And I literally watched it yesterday, and I was like, I have to do a review on this. This is one of the most heartfelt films I've seen in a long time. Every scene is so well played and so well acted that it's phenomenal. Now, the caveat to that, it's shot by a director that has no skill for narrative film. The script was amazing. The acting was amazing. The direction and cinematography and everything looks like not even a Hallmark movie. I'm talking about this is like family friendly little, chick flick wannabe type of movie. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And
I haven't seen it in a while. I'm a little rusty on it, but I know when I started watching it, I wasn't as into movies as I am now. It was 10 years ago, but
yeah.
That was one of the characteristics where I was like, I don't know. It's if they with Hollywood rebooting so many movies and redoing so many movies, not that we want to sit here and watch a Robin Williams movie be remade. Oh wait, Jumanji. Never mind. Not that we want Robin Williams movie to be remade, but if this was remade with a director, same exact way, nothing changes, the same exact way.
Oh, but that's never gonna happen.
Just the cinematography changes. I think that it would be like great movie.
Oh yeah.
Great movie.
It has the heart. It has that emotional sense and everything, and the acting is just spot on. But there's something about it, and it throws you off. The first 10 minutes of the movie, I was like, oh god, this is gonna be horrible. This is gonna be horrible. And then the kid's story kicks in, and you're like, wow, this is awesome. But that first part, it feels like a bad chick flick. And that's kind of where it's like, and you're struggling with yourself whether you should watch it or not. And honestly, it gets a lot better. So give it that chance. I honestly give this one probably about a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
If it was directed by somebody else, I would probably give it a 10 out of 10. That's how good it is. The story.
Which sucks that it loses like 3 stars just because and it goes to prove that a movie can be an amazing movie, but if it's not even just shot right, it loses so much.
Yeah. And I mean, it just has some cheesy angles and camera moves that it's like, why'd you do that? Why? And it was so well acted that it's like if somebody else would just go in there and recut the film and redo the lighting and
if
redo
ever we
the
needed that
effects.
director to come in halfway and be like, we're gonna shoot this my way now.
Please take this and recut this and take away the cheesy freaking lighting that they did, because they did some campy lighting and it was just. There's one scene at the end, and I'm not gonna give anything away, but it's so TV movie-ish that it felt god awful.
It felt like he was trying to do. He got influenced by like different directors, and he was trying to incorporate different ways that directors shoot into one movie.
Yeah. And
depending on the movie, it can be done. Like, what was it? Dr. Parnassus did something. I can't even remember that second
Dr.
word.
Parnassus and the Imaginarium.
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Thank you. Where it's the one character, but he's going to different worlds. If those different worlds are shot in a different style, it works because you're in a different entity. You're in a different universe. But when it's the same universe and you just change it, it loses you. It loses you as an audience. It loses you as like almost like the fantasy's like truncated, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, no, where was I? Because you're trying to keep up, and it sucks because
even with that, I was enthralled by the film, and it had its moments where I'm like, oh, that was a horrible shot, and then the story kicks in, and it's like, I snap back into it. So the fact that it does do that, and it still snaps you back in, it's a testament to the acting and the story itself. Honestly, I know we reviewed a couple weeks ago that, the movie you could kind of walk around and do things and stuff like that. But this movie, you feel like you could do that, but then the story kicks in again. And if that's the saving grace of this film, that's why it gets the 7 out of 10 for me, honestly.
And everybody in it does just like an amazing job. And obviously Robin Williams is Robin Williams. I mean, I think I've seen like maybe one movie where it was not. I think it was like The World's Greatest Dad, which was a drama, which was very outside of Williams's realm because he plays like one person for the most part.
You know who directed them, right?
Who was it?
It was the you remember that really annoying guy's voice from Police Academy?
Yeah.
That short dude? That guy's the one that directed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and you ever saw Super?
Yeah.
Same director.
Yeah. But yeah, just like you, I think 7 out of 10, and just directorial reasoning. Like, there's nothing else that we can say here, or that I can say here, and take away from this movie, or take away from the movie, other than just the way that it was shot, and it's sad.
Yeah,
it really is, because it's like.
But it's still a great story, so I definitely recommend it, and definitely want you guys to check it out because it's really good and well worth it. So what you check out this week?
This week, actually, I tapped into my own little childhood, and for those who don't know, I grew up mostly in my early, from baby to my early teens in Europe, and one of the countries I lived in the longest was Belgium, which is known for the famous comic books of Tintin. And that's what I reviewed. It's actually streaming on Netflix. It's about an hour and 45 minutes long. It's not live action, but it's computerized, the entire thing. Yeah. The voices it's actually, you would think like a movie that not a lot of people know. It's not going to have like a big cast. It actually has an amazing cast. It's got Jamie Bell. It's got Andy Serkis. For those who don't know who he is, he's Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. We're not getting into that again. Moving on. He's Caesar from the new Planet of the Apes series. Yeah. Daniel Craig actually is in it as well. James Bond himself is in it. Yeah. The movie's from 2011, so he was already like a big name. Simon Pegg is in it. Toby Jones and Carrie Hughes, I think it's pronounced.
Hughes?
Again, I'm really bad with this. For those that may be like who, Princess Bride. That just says it all. Or Robin Hood Men in Tights. Saw. He was in the original Saw movie.
Yeah.
British actor, very nice. So basically,
not so much of Princess Bride.
What?
Not so much of Princess Bride.
What, a great actor? Well, that was also Connor's first one, so I mean, Princess Bride is not known for like its amazing acting.
Amazing anything.
But we're not getting into
debate. Number 2 debate.
I'm gonna have to counter with something on that one. That's inconceivable. See what you made me do. Look what you made me do. So, where was I? Okay, Adventures of Tintin. There's a whole series of comics.
Who directed it?
Oh, Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg directed it. Sorry.
That's why you're able to get those big names on there.
Probably, yes. The Adventures of Tintin is not, like, because there's so many different comics, it was kind of expected that they were not just going to take from one of the comics. It's actually 3 of them that are all incorporated together, and I have it here as to which 3 of they are. The first one is Le Cab. I'm going to say it in French and then say it back in English once I had it. I really did. I promise you. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Le Crabe aux Pans d'Or, which is the crab with the golden
Palm.
pinches, whatever.
Pincher,
Pinchers, whatever they're called. Le Trésor de Rackham le Rouge, which is the treasure of the Rackham the Red, and Le Secret de l'Unicorn, which is the secret of the unicorn, which are 3 big adventures of Tintin for anybody that's read the series.
I never read the series as a kid.
Oh, let's borrow. Actually, I have like the volumes. It's
Really?
like I think it's like 11 volumes, and it's got like 3 stories per volume. So that actually tells you like how many there are. It's Hergé is the creator of Tintin and his little dog Snowy, which I was really happy. You know, like when you go to cons and you see like obscure ones that not a lot of people get, and you're like, oh my god! And there was a guy there who was dressed as Tintin, and
awesome.
and his I guess it was an emotional support dog, was actually a white little snowy looking dog, which was like perfect. I'm like, you are cosplaying right because you're incorporating the dog. They are great. I was definitely like the child in me. I was like, yes. It's good. I wish that he would have done better at the box office so that they may have brought more on, and there's nothing.
They were supposed to do a second one.
They were supposed to do a second one, but because I don't know if he didn't make it or he just barely like brought the money back to the studio, they kind of like scrapped the sequel.
Really?
Plus Spielberg went on to do like a whole bunch of other things, and which
More
is fine,
shite.
But
And more shite.
more shite, yeah. But
we're on his downward spiral.
That's a good debate right there. Your Clockwork Orange versus a director, I think.
Oh, okay.
Ding ding ding.
All right.
But I liked it from a standpoint of watching a childhood comic come to life and see how it was done, and because when you read the comics, although it's already there drawn in your head, you're how's the voice sounding, how's this, and Captain Haddock is like literally like your captain voice, where he's a drunkard but he means well and he tries to do his best, and the annoying little white dog that always gets caught in stupid stuff that he shouldn't, and Thompson and Thompson, the 2 detectives, which are like watching Laurel and Hardy. It's I enjoyed it. It wasn't as great as I had hoped it had been, but it was something that hour 45 minutes. I liked. I think I've seen it like twice. I again watched it recently because it's on Netflix.
I haven't seen it since it came out. Probably, what was it? What year was it?
2011.
Yeah, I saw it a little bit after that, when it came out on DVD or something. I really didn't enjoy it. I was having high hopes for it. I was like, I've always heard of Tintin, and I was like, I really wanted to see a movie about Tintin. My dad talked about it so much, and I was like, but I never got exposed to it at all until this film. And I knew the lore, I knew the character, how he looked, and all that stuff, but I didn't know anything else about it. And I went in, and I was like, eh. It was Spielberg being Spielberg. That's what I thought.
Pretty much. I mean, like, envision Indiana Jones, but like basically like a young Indiana Jones story in live animated.
And I honestly think what hurt it was the 3 stories put together. I didn't know that, and I felt kind of weird with what was going on with the stories. I was like, what is this? And I was lost with a lot of the stories. And for somebody that's not a fan, maybe that's the effect that it got. That's why it didn't get received so well. But for the fans, for the fans of the books, then they probably enjoyed it because they know what was going
on. I mean, yes and no. You know, from somebody that is a fan, like I said, growing up and watching and reading the comics, I feel like very much like you put it, where putting 3 different stories together that may not have meshed completely well together kind of made it like a little like what's going on. And I also
there's no introduction. There was no introduction.
There isn't. There really isn't. Like, there's no backstory really. There's no nothing. And I feel like there are Tintin stories out there, which could have been great standalone stories.
Yeah.
You know, just that one story, and also with more backstory, but also where would it would have entertained more. People would have received it a little better or a lot better, and and I think that's one of the downfalls of it, to where people were, you know, or the production company was expecting that people knew who Tintin was, and the Adventures of Tintin, and no backstory, no nothing. Who's this kid?
Thing,
you know,
we
got Spielberg. We got all these great actors, which are voice actors, which is great. But if you don't see them on screen, half the time you don't recognize the voice unless you really know who it is.
Yeah.
And had it been live action, I think that it may have been more well received. Again, you would have seen the faces of the actors and whatnot. There were some factors which, again, I'm not saying that they were. I'm just speculating here. That where its downfall, to where had it been a little bit different or gone a different direction, it would have actually had at least one sequel where it's like, okay, let's push one more and see how it goes, and revived and brought Tintin over to the States.
Yeah.
You know, you see like these Japanese animes and obviously, getting into it, but like Potter and Lord of the Rings, which are like British and they're made live action, and look at the fandom that it brought.
But I mean, also Tintin, I loved the animation. I think that was pretty much the only saving grace of it. Was
because it looks real. It's not just like it's done.
Exactly.
The CGI is done really well.
And at least from what I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, it looked very close to the comics.
Yes, like, it was actually very much spot on. There was no alterations to it.
So I thought that was great, and I loved that aspect of it. But I just didn't enjoy the stories as a non-fan, though.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Also, one thing that bugged me was Tintin is from Belgium. Everybody in this story is of a francophone speaking country. None of them had a French accent. It's like to me, it kind of bugged me a little bit. It's like
whitewashing.
It's I don't think necessarily like whitewashing, but it's just kind of like a little
English
bit
washing.
English washing.
English washing. New term.
English washing.
Pat and Penny.
Wow. But to me, it was kind of like, okay, I can understand, because you French accent, how long, you want to go on like an hour and a half, hour, 40 minutes listening to, a French accent, because if you don't do it right, then it just gets like under your skin. It's like having a bad British accent. Yeah. It's like, it's a bit cheerio. Like, what was that? Well, I'm British. No, you're not. But I mean, overall, enjoyed it from, background point of view, and I would probably give it like, like 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, like, it felt like there were certain factors that would have done better and could have done better, and the fact that it did how it did, to where there was no sequel to it, and it leaves it open for a sequel.
Yeah.
Obviously, like every Tintin book, really, as much as it closes, there's going to be a sequel. Unfortunately, not anymore, but I liked it. I mean, it's. I would say it's family friendly.
Yeah, it's something good to show the kids.
It's something to show the kids, something different than what they're used to.
Usual
And
speed.
who knows? Maybe the Barnes and Noble, as far as I know, still carries the like the volumes of like I said, 3. I think it's either 3 or 4 per volume. They're like $11 or $12. Not too bad.
That's pretty good.
And it's something different.
Yeah.
Something enjoyable, and sit back and then if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
oh well.
I honestly give it probably a good 5 out of 10.
Mhm.
I loved the animation and I loved certain parts of it. It's just if they would have just flushed it out and made it a full story, one full narrative, I think it would have benefited from that.
Yeah.
And if it would have been either shorter films or a mini series maybe, which they weren't doing at the time yet, not fully, like Netflix original or
Yeah.
something like that, it would have benefited from that. I think a lot more.
The thing is, like with Tintin, though, like it would be great to like the miniseries is a great idea, but there's so much that happens in each story that when you think a series, it's like like an hour episode. An hour episode, you'd be cutting quite a bit, and you don't want to cut the wrong things.
Well, you
and
could do
still make-
multiple. You could flush it out into 2 or 3 episodes, one story, but it gives you that opportunity.
Kind of like
to flush
a
it
series
out.
of unfortunate events,
Yes.
where each book is 2 episodes. Yes,
Yeah.
actually, that would make sense. Netflix, please.
Yeah, right?
Hulu.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. Anyone?
Yeah.
But yes, so check it out, and
Yeah.
if you like it, just let us know. If you don't like it, just let us know.
Yeah. So both of these are streaming on Netflix. Mine was August Rush,
My Adventures of Tintin.
and my name is Lewis,
I'm William.
and this is Man Bites Film. We'll see you guys next week for another episode.
Happy New Year again.
Yep. Happy New Year.